Hey guys, and welcome back to Shadowrun Hong Kong. Let's get going, see if we can find this stockroom key as far as I remember. Find a key at Magpie's stockroom. A key. Alright, and that's the key card I've got. Wait, how am I supposed to find a key to a stockroom? Doesn't seem to be one in here. Wonder if I can have a look around these again. Okay, no I can't. Doesn't seem like it. Any more places I can... No, doesn't seem like it either. Boop. Alright, where else can we go? I wonder if I want to talk to the elders about the key to our stockroom or not. You! Mo. The man in front of the stall is rooting through a box of music chips with swift fingers of someone who knows what they're looking for. Behind him, a music player pumps out a constant stream of distorted, atonal music. The stall's proprietor is nowhere to be seen. Can you believe this? They've got 4 bootlegs of Echelon 60, the unreleased Enoch Ian Keys double chips show for Brazzaville, but absolutely 0 chips from Shotgun Bloom. This stall stuff is purely second rate. Hey man, don't get down on Echelon 60. I saw them when they played at the unlicensed show at the old Choco Tart factory out in Sen Wan. The show was amazing, even if the place had to break up midway through the second set. The music aficionado waves his hand dismissively. The show might have been great, but come on, Echelon 60's old news. They're already being mainstreamed. I saw a Trid ad for the new Mitsubishi Ostro scooter, and they were using Main Volt Underbus as the backing music. Made me sad, I tell you. The Decker inclines his head politely towards you. Mo Genebi at your service, Decker, technologist, music fan. Not from around here, are you? You don't hold yourself like a native. You guess. Mo runs a hand through his hair, shaking the collected rain off it. I thought so. What brings you here? Just trying to find out who's been killing elders. Decker pauses for a moment, face falling. Oh, that's a nasty business. I heard Tong died tonight. I don't know who or what they pissed off, but it seems like a really bad scene. I'm trying to keep my nose out of it. Still, I like this place. Is there anything I can do to help? Know anything about the murders? I'm trying to stay as far away as possible. I'm not connected enough to hear anything important, and all the talk about monsters is just plain dark. I'm not afraid of monsters, but I don't want to get their attention. All I know is that a couple of months ago we had elders Nakamura, Yatunde Gan and Magpie, and now we don't. The element Magpie sounds like she was kind of vicious. To be blunt, she's a hateful, shrewish old badger of a person. It wasn't always her way or the highway. It was always her way or the highway. She'd butt heads with other elders over damn near anything. The last fight she had was with Tang over something or other. I guess she ended up throwing some of his micro drones into a deep fryer and threatening to kick his ass around the block. What was her line of business? Matrix gear. Her shop's called the Jackpoint. Not very imaginative, I know. She always had the hottest programs, best chips, and made some killer decks for anyone willing to pay her rates. It cost plenty of New Yen, but she was one of the best in the business, at least in Hong Kong. If you want to know more about her, you should talk to Zippy. He's one of the only people around here that got along with Magpie. You can probably find him at the MTR station. He loves the steam bun cart over there. We're a collection of freaks, geeks, nerds and tech junkies. This place may look like a third world bazaar, but believe me, there's stuff here that's cutting edge in almost every field. Mo swells with pride and plants both hands firmly on his hips. Maybe it's not as advanced as stuff in the megas. It's the stuff the megas have in their development labs, but it's advanced as anything you can find in a store. People come from all over the world to buy and sell here, and work out deals for big shipments. We've got contacts with every pirate and smuggling group in the South China Sea, and every major syndicate and gang in the Free Enterprise Zone knows not to mess with us. Not only are there a lot of us, but nobody wants to lose what we're selling. The Red Dragon made a play 4 years ago, but we chased them out. Mo gestures with 2 hands as if shooting away some bothersome insect. Scooted off back to Homan Tin, and they've never been back. Good for you, that's how you survive. It's all about playing the angels. Yeah, it pissed them off, but we sold goods to the Yellow Lotus at a discount. In exchange, the Yellow Lotus... Yeah, by exchange, the Yellow Lotus kept them off our back. You don't have to beat up the big guy to win, you just have to make him step back so the other big guys see he's off balance. Stand-up fights are for the megas. We're about survival, just like everyone else in the shadows. I'm a Decker. I used to be a company man for years, pushing code on our servers, smearing the little cyber pukes that would try to get into our secure systems. Made a pretty good living, had my own place in the 48th floor of a corporate skyscraper. It was the kind of thing the Sims teach you every day. It's the kind of thing the Sims teach you everybody reaches for, the dream life. How'd you end up here? I found out the company wasn't what I thought it was. Sure, they paid me well and kept me in creature comforts, but I accidentally looked over some misfiled reports while cleaning out a company data store. Turns out one of the company security riggers had gotten drunk and blabbed about some project or other being over budget and behind schedule. That's not good. It'd be a fireable offence, right? Mo purses lips, his gaze going distance for a moment. Well, I guess upper management was worried that info would hurt their stock rating by a fraction of a point or two, so they fired a guy. A .308 round right through the skull. That seems drastic. I may only have been fractions of a point, but it was still tens of millions of new yen. I guess that went beyond a firing offence, directly into murder territory. What's worse, since I now knew about both the project and the murder, I would be next in the firing line. I knew it wasn't worth the expense to hunt down as long as I kept my head down, so I came here, looking for like-minded deckers. I guess I ended up staying because I could get a semblance of community here. And I couldn't get that many other places. Alright, see you later, Mo. I'll speak to the breaker in a second. I want to see if this guy, Zippy, has a keycard or anything. Alright, okay. No, I spoke to him as much as I could. Gotcha. Let's head over to Breaker then. Breaker 3! An imposing troll stands in front of a stall overflowing with weapons of all sorts, pistols, rifles, and even brass knuckles overflowing into the rug around him. Oh there, you're like a man who understands the value of self-defense. Breaker Hui at your service. And I can promise you I can help you defend yourself. What do you say? Want to take a look? Who have I... Oh yeah, I've got the street samurai. I'm more interested in information. Yeah, tell me what you want, maybe I can help you out. Neither about the murders. Just the elders have been getting hacked apart. I'll try to stay away from it at all. I've tried to stay away from it all. No sense painting the crosshairs on my own forehead, right? I'm nobody important, so I aim to keep that way. Anything about Magpie? No, I met her, thank God. She ran with the deckers mostly, since she dealt with in chips and software. Actually was hard to work with. I think the phrase I overheard was that she shrieked like a harpy with a fresh corpse. I don't know. You should ask Zippy though. He's a sharp one with a deck, so he'd know better than most. Aside from Tom, who slings BTLs? The Red Spear Gang. They run up in here sometimes, but don't cause any trouble. Check out the parking garage south of here, though. They usually hole up in there. Step light though. If they don't know you and you cop an attitude, they'll put you in the ground. Funny thing, I heard there was a shootout with some Hong Kong police in the garage about a month ago. I was away in Beijing at the time, so I didn't see it directly, but everyone was talking about it when I got back. Why is that funny? Because we don't let HKPF in here. Most times we shoot at them if they try. Every time they come in here it's bad for us because they're always looking for a scapegoat. Why would the elders let them in? Nobody knows. What's your impression of the elders? Can't say I associate with them much. They organise big trade deals with all Loho Joa pirates, the triads and legitimate businesses. They tell us if someone's being blacklisted and dispense justice when someone breaks the rules. Beyond that, they just leave us alone. And I leave them alone. I'm not important enough to register on their radar. See you later. Let's see who else there is to talk to. This is a garage. Who are you? This dumpy looking man is busily hawking a variety of grilled spherical treats of various sizes. Some are sold individually, some are skewered in sticks, and some are packaged up in sets of 4 or 6. A sign in the front of the cart reads, Kita's 1 yen yatai. A cacophony of small trid screens are attached to the cart, each playing a different trid show. Interest you in some dango? Takoyaki? Maybe a nice nikuman? That's a pork bun with Japanese twist. Any kind of tasty Japanese treat you can imagine, I've got it. Maybe some curry fish balls at your speed. Kita will give you your heart's desire, providing that your desire's on my menu. Let me have some dango. Your wish is my command. Kita deftly pulls one of the dango sticks out of the cart and drops onto the grill. A small robotic arm slides out from the cart and begins turning the stick until the balls of rice flour are toasted brown colour, lifting them from the grill. Kita dips the entire stick into a tub of sticky brown sauce before handing it to you. Snack has both a sweet and salty flavour, reminiscent of sesame seeds and soy. The balls inside are pleasantly warm and surprisingly chewy, a bit like eating raw dough, but without the attendant chalky taste. Peter leans back, studying you intently. The tread projections from his cart cause his face to be lit constantly, shifting an array of rainbow hues. So what brings you to Whampoa Gardens, my friend? Somehow I doubt it's just a street food. Looking at the killings. I've been hearing a lot about that. Haven't looked too closely though. It's just none of my business. You know? Got any thoughts on the murders? Yeah, ignore them. I saw a crowd down at Tong Sensory Carnival earlier tonight, but I didn't know the guy very well. I'm a Trid fan, he liked The Sims. Not a lot of crossover between us. What can you tell me about the people here? We're tech heads, deckers, riggers, Trid pirates, and everything in between. I had to define this place, I'd say it's Asia's mecca for people like us. As for the elders, I can give you the basics. I'm a small fry, so we're not exactly on social terms. Ning's some kind of crazy tech witch. She summons up spirits and casts spells, and works as a spiritual centre of the tribe. She's a lot craftier than she seems to. She has this mother to everyone act going on, but I've watched her manipulate people into doing all kinds of stuff they wouldn't normally do. And they all thought it was her idea the whole time. It was their idea the whole time. Magically, you mean? No, I don't think so. She's really good with people. Ip's a killer, addicted to cybernetic implants. He's always has to have the newest and freshest gear. Funny thing is, I've never seen him in a fight. I kind of get the impression he's a coward. He'd rather let one of his buddies handle the problem than do it himself. All I know about Tang is that he loves drones and does a little decking. Frankly, I find him kind of boring. All he talks about is neural networks, dark knowledge, and evolution and machine learning. Like I said, boring. What's with all the Trid screens? Yeah, beams and gestures excitedly at them. You like them? I love Trid operas. Chinese, Korean, Japanese, Indonesian, doesn't matter. That way I can watch all my favourite shows without missing a beat, and I can work at the same time. Pirated Trid is my other business. I rip the streams in the Matrix, tap right into the corporate feeds and resell them on chip out here. I wish I could pay the bills, but my food cart is a lot better at that. I don't know why, most of the other Whampoans seem to like sim over Trid. I don't know what they're missing though. One episode of 1,000 Cranes of Autumn and they'd be hooked for life. I'm just at the part where Orin has confessed her love to Takayama, but he's got to get his mech suit out to the front lines on Mars, so he can't be with her. Downright heartbreaking, I tell you. That sounds like an interesting show, alright. Oh, you've got no idea. 312 episode chronicling a noble mech pilot and the tumultuous love affair he has with a space station governor's daughter. The pathos, the majesty. The Battle of Lagrange 1 spans 5 episodes just by itself. For some reason, I guess it just didn't resonate with the wider public. I don't know why. Who doesn't want to see a Trid show about giant flying robots, love betrayal and spies? I've got to stop myself before I get carried away. Was there something else you need? Nope. Not at all. Who are you? Fucking hidey hole over here. This man's a tired, world-weary demeanour about him. His eyes track your movements with a penetrating critical precision. Something about him, the lines and about his eyes, perhaps, makes you suspect he's seen a lot of terrible things happen. He lost his cup of cheap soy calf as you approach. Let me guess, you're the freelancers the elders are paying to look into the murders around here. That's right, who are you? Call me Demergo. I'm not one of the Whampoans, but I've been here long enough that they don't think twice about me being here. Demargo drains the last of his soy calf in a large gulp. So, what have you found so far? You're an awful curious for a random guy. Professional curiosity. I used to be with the NYPD as part of the Thaumatological Research Division. Thaumaturgical. Part of the CSI branch, except I did a magical investigation while the other guys pulled prints and checked blood samples. Demargo tossed the soy calf cup toward a nearby garbage can. It bounced around the rim and rolls inside. When I hear about shit like this happening, I keep me at the ground. Old habits, you know. Why aren't you investigating? I don't ask me to look into killings after the first murder. She couldn't afford my fee, though, so I took a pass. It's not just money either. Demargo shudders his arms across his chest. You see that stuff day after day, you pay a price. It eats away at you. You know what it's like to feel a sickness and anger every day? To be asked to pick up a murder weapon and relive someone's death? Feel it going into your neck, pleading in the voice of a dead woman for a killer to spare you? These days I'd rather interrogate the living, thanks. All things considered, that could be useful. He nods, though his expression is still one of disgust and sickness. Sure, if you're appraising antiques or trying to find where a lost cat went, but turning that on murder scenes is an invitation to horrors beyond imagining. I can read objects, it's called It's called psychometry. A little trick I managed to pick up. Don't really know how. I hold something, I can tell you what happened to it, who owned it, how it killed someone, if someone loved it or was afraid of it. Useful, but it'll tax your heart. And before you ask, no, I'm not going to read anything you find. Already told and I didn't want any part of this. You want advice? I'll give you that, but I'm not getting drawn in any further than that. So aside from that, is there anything I can help you with? Tom wasn't afraid when he died, he was caught by surprise. DeMargo arches an eyebrow. That's not what I would have expected. With the amount of mess at the scene, the victims should have left behind a hell of a lot of fear and pain. Are you sure? Very sure. Tong died tonight, so the astral signature hasn't had time to fade. There was only a sense of perfunctory accomplishment. It sounds like this wasn't a crime of passion. A planned attack would have that kind of resonance, in my experience. It's possible the gore show is to throw off anyone looking for the actual reason. The Muggle closes his eyes and starts to nod. Yeah, if I were to kill someone and get away with it, I'd try to point a finger at some kind of monster. The Muggle opens his eyes, smiles a thin, humourless grin. Basic Investigation 101. It's usually the simplest explanation, but don't discount other possibilities. You think the mess wasn't incidental? It's a possibility. Ask yourself, if the mutilation happened after Tong's death, why would a killer perform that kind of ritual? Serial killers who engage in that kind of ritual don't feel perfunctory about it. In my experience, it tends to feel more like they're taking communion. It's a religious or sexual feeling most of the time. If this didn't feel that way, I don't think the killer is actually pathological. What do you know about the murders? Started a couple of weeks ago. Elder Gam was the first to go. That's when I'm going to just call him NG, because that's when NG asked if I could look into them. He was ripped apart, arms wrenched out their sockets, skin flayed away with a razor-sharp knife. The rest have been the same. Whoever did it sure didn't care about being a clean death. DeMargo lowers his voice, leaning in towards you so you can hear. Funny thing is, the Hong Kong police force was out here a few weeks before that, maybe a month ago tops. I know it doesn't seem like much, but the Wampones usually don't let the police in here. That by itself is odd enough, but it gets even stranger. The officers were loaded for bear too. Big guns and heavy armour at NBC SEALs, the works. We went in a parking garage near here and there was some kind of gunfight. Never made it back out. When backup showed up, the Wampones chased them away. Why do I let the cops in and chase them away? It's exactly the kind of question you should be asking, and that the elders refused to answer when I asked. DeMargo shrugs. Go take a look for yourself if you want. Watch out though, a gang's taking up residence in there dealing drugs and BTLs. They call themselves the Red Spear. Not too violent if you don't push them, but be careful what you say. What can you tell me about the Wampones? I don't know much, even though I've been here almost 2 years. I'm an outsider. They don't really accept anyone who's not much of a tech nut as they are. I'm just a crazy mage that lives down the road. DeMargo pauses and looks off into the distance as he collects his thoughts. Ip's got some heavy duty cyberware, basically an enforcer for the rest of the council. He doesn't seem to set much policy. NG's a shaman that worships machine spirits. It's all a bunch of hokum if you ask me. Magic's magic. Whatever you want to call the source, it's fine by me. But don't ask me to believe in the great spirit of electronics. As for everyone else, they tend to be an okay bunch. A bit strange, but that's fringe culture for you. They scrounge tech, rebuild it, sell it off. Some of them even have their own autofab shops. Their stuff's pretty high quality too. People from all over Asia come to shop here, if you need something rare or unusual. Tight-knit little community, all things considered. See you later. Right, come on. Let us nip into here and see what we can get doing. Oh, need a drink. Refreshing. Right, let's go and talk to these fucking gangers. That's far enough, guy. The woman hefts a weapon, tossing a nod towards the gangsters behind her. This lot's our tough. If you're looking for a fix, you're welcome to trade. If you're not here for business, clear the hell out. You want to try and wander around her tough, and we're going to have to air you. So what'd you say? You're looking for a little pickup? A little nitro, give you some pep? Maybe you want some chips, take the edge off. You want it? I got it. Some of the BTLs just sound like an awful lot like the ones from Tong's shop. Yeah, so what? What do you care? So if you stole these from Tong's, maybe you saw something I can use in my investigation? Yeah, I guess that's fair. It's like this, Broken Thumb Yen was walking down the street and sees this guy going to Tong's joint right at closing time. Tall guy, hunched over. Had this shitty grey rain poncho dropped over him. Now, Yuen's figured that this was that. Now Yuen figured that was weird as hell, so he posts up and waits. He figures a guy will come out because Tong's closing up shop. Nothing for 15 whole minutes. Guy comes out, hustles down the street with nobody saying boo. I figured he was waiting for an M in the crowds. Yuen sees some blood smeared on the door, though, so he goes to check it out. Inside, total carnage, but you know what? Tong's not going to be using this gear anymore. So to hell with it. Yuen jacks a lot of it. Business is business. Damn right it is. That's all I know. Guy had to be the killer. Tall, grey, rain poncho, hunched over. Also smart about how he came and went. What happened in the fight here? As far as I know, some police showed up looking for somebody. They got in here. All of them got killed. Whoever they were after was long gone by the time we showed up. Used to be a lot of Wampoans living here. They all cleared out, muttering about ghosts and shit like that. But that's going to have to be the end of this episode. So, as always, thanks a lot for watching. I've been CJ, you've been awesome. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.